Hi everyone, welcome to my weekly Facebook Live, my Creative Escape. Thanks for joining me today. And tonight we are sharing some Sale-A-Bration products with you. Please say hi if you're joining me, and I'm hoping that you can stick with me through for the three projects I have got to share with you today. So just give me one sec while I see everything is transmitting fine. And let me know what you have been doing and how you have been doing this week. I hope you have been getting some creativity in through your week and getting to share your craft by sending out your cards. Tonight's the end of Sale-A-Bration, so Sale-A-Bration has gone on for 2 months. So with Sale-A-Bration, every $90 earns you a free product, and you still have time to order. And there's quite a lot of good products there. There's a lot of choice there for you, where you can get some exclusive products to Sale-A-Bration, and some are free with a $90 order, and then there's a tier 2 level where it's free with a $180 order. There's also some products from our annual catalog and our mini catalog which have been added on to the Sale-A-Bration promotion, so you can get them free as well. So you can choose them too, and I'll be using some of those products as well in my presentation tonight. And please feel free to ask me any questions you have, so I can answer them, and if I do miss them, I do go back and check all the comments. I will be putting a product list for you immediately after this video, because I realize the urgency of it. If you want products, you will need to place an order before the end of the day so you can get those freebies. Also, make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter. I will be putting one of these cards on a tutorial, and then I have a special offer for you as well. Please bear with me if this is not coming through. I hope it's okay. All right. So the other offer we have is our joint promotion. Now, our Stamping Up Joint offer is always great at any given day. It's an awesome deal. It's $169, and you get to choose $235 of any products from our catalog apart from the horse sets, but there is a wide variety, so you get to customize that kit. Currently, until today, you also get this bonus planner, which is an 18-month planner. So July's gone, but it goes until December 2023. I was going to say 2024, no, 2023. You get these 3 journals and a making plans stamp set. So got really cute little stamps to decorate your planner with. That is a bonus on top of the great deal that our starter kit is. Now, I just wanted to mention, I wanted to invite you to join my Gifted Stars team. We are a group of ladies who have fun and create, and we mainly there for creating. Now, some have different goals, and some want to run a business, and others just want to enjoy the crafting experience. So you can join for whatever your reason is. It doesn't have to be specifically for running a business. Stamping Up in no way asking you to run workshops or anything like that. That is purely up to you. There is a minimum amount that has to be met per quarter, but generally, if you are spending around $120 a month, that covers that. So please make sure you ask me the questions, and I'll be able to help you so you can make the most of it. It is a 20% discount startup, so you are automatically saving. So if you spend $100, you immediately only pay $80 after you buy that starter kit. So if you buy the starter kit now, you do not have to purchase anything until December. That carries you over. You can try it out, see whether you like it. And as part of my team, there are many benefits of being part of Stamping Up and being part of a community. My team members get to enjoy some creative inspiration within the team. They get rewarded for taking part in creative challenges and for their performance, and it's just not purely performance based. Um, and I just like to share with everyone. So please make sure you just think about it, and if you want to grab this offer, you are today's the last day to join. I'm available by phone after this um, demonstration today, so make sure you check that out as well. Now, for our cards today, I have got a few. I have not obviously showing you all the products, but I am showing you a few. And I have got, I'm using the Tree Lot dies first up. I've got a thick basic white card base, and uh, the Sale-A-Bration product I'm going to use obviously is the Tree Lot dies, as I said. That comes, that actually coordinates with our Trees for Sale stamp set. So the Trees for Sale stamp set is in our mini catalog, and you get these dies in the Tree Lot dies, and I'll pull out the ones I'm going to use. I had so you can see what else comes. This caravan I think is super cute, and it stands alone, so there's no stamp that matches that. It's a standalone in these dies. You get all these trees. You got the little doggy that it cuts out from the stamp set, um, and lots of bits and pieces, some lights and things in this set. Let me grab the stamp set so you can see how that works together. So there's the doggy and the trees. Those trees cut them out, and then these give those um, outline images as well if you just want that. Um, and I've got some of this, the silver foil, which is from the silver foil specialty pack, and that is annual catalog product, and that's available for you to get as a freebie right now during Sale-A-Bration. I've also got just a piece of basic white, which I'm going to create a background with. The colors I'm going to use are Pool Party and Tahitian Tide, and I'm bringing in my artistic mix decorative mask. Sometimes I think masks can get hidden, can get masked in the catalog. Um, they are a low cost product that can give really great effects, and can be used really, really well to for so many purposes. So I am going to be using, let me see, this one. So you get one like a checks, larger checks. Then this is more like a gingham, and a bit like a little bit of a floral petal kind of pattern. And these have labels. So there's 5 masks in there. I'm bringing in a bit of scrap so I don't mess up my worksheet here. So keep it clean. Otherwise, by the end of my live, there's a lot of color going on, and then I don't have a nice surface to show you the cards. So we'll use our Pool Party and Tahitian Tide. So as I said, subscribe to my newsletter. I will be sharing one of the tutorials with you. And then for orders over $90, I will add all 3 tutorials. Plus, you're going to get my 30 tutorial bundle as well, the 1 over 30 tutorials for August. September will be a totally new tutorial bundle. So this little piece of cardstock is just a little bit bigger than what I need. I'm going to die cut it, but I'm just placing this over. You can use a bit of masking sheet or some washi to hold that down. So let's get a pool party. Keep this straight if you can. But then when you die cut it, you can die cut it straight. I'm just holding it in place. And using my blending brush to go over it. Now, I ideally, with my third hand, I would go in a circular motion, but I'm not really inking this up very well because I've only got two hands. It's a bit hard to hold the ink pad. But it's okay, it works. Just rub off the excess when you start and then go through like that. If it shifts, you can always align it, easy enough to align. I've got the host code. I will put the host code if it's not up there on the description of the video. It will come up later. But for orders under 250, use the host code. I will send you a card and I'll try and throw in some. I generally throw in something with that, with maybe some samples and something for you to use. But orders over 250, you will receive host rewards. Stamping up, host rewards are called stamping rewards. So say you spend 250, you will get 10% at that point. So you'll get $25 of rewards. So you can choose $25 of product for free. And there's special host products, only products. Now I'll put laid down pool party across there. Now I'll move that a bit and I can align that as I go. Next I'm going to bring in Tahitian Tide. And I'm tapping off excess. I'm just going to bring it, add it to one side of my card. Bearing in mind that I'm going to be die cutting this, I'm going to bring it in a little bit more than normal. And I will rub it along like that so that the mask doesn't shift too much. Just light touch, and as you go, you can add depth to that. So then you see that nice effect it has. So masks give you that depth, and by adding two colors, it adds more depth. Set that aside, and I'll do some die cutting. I've got my deckled, one of the deckled rectangles, which I'm going to die cut that from. I've already die cut this with the larger deckled rectangle. Then I'm going to bring in these trees. And we'll do two small trees and one larger one with the silver. So you know what, kind of have an idea what where I'm going with this. So if you you can add large ticket items to your starter kit. That's one way. You can save as well. So I want the darker side there, so I'm just pushing that up. We can do some trees at the same time. And we will die cut this. And pull that aside. And then I've just got to do one more little one. It's quite intricate, but it's easy. It comes out easy. So with the silver specialty pack, if you saw my live last week, you would have seen there's three finishes in that pack. So there's one darker one as well, which is the one we used last week, a darker sheet. I just want that off, otherwise it'll leave a mark on my next piece of cardstock. Alright, so let's get these out. You could do a lot of that masking and have it ready and to go. Just bear with me a moment. And then I'll do that. Okay, get rid of all our bits and pieces. And I'll show you another one I did in gold, and that turned out pretty too. Okay, you can do this in different colorways. So we've got our matte cardstock. Now what the next thing I'm going to do is do some embossing on this piece of cardstock. And I'm going to use the Timber embossing folder. This is another one of our regular products, which is in the annual catalog, but it is available as a free product, as a free selection when with a qualifying order. So you can get this as well. This is a 3D embossing folder. Another really useful folder. So I think it works well for your rustic projects, for your masculine projects. Embossing folders, I like using them because they add a lot of character and texture without much effort and make easily, something. You don't have to do much. So that's what you get on that. We'll be using that embossing folder again and with another technique, and you'll see what else you can do. Just another embossing folder technique, so you can use that. All right, so we can glue this straight down just to assemble our card. Hi, Alana. Good to see you. I'm sorry. Sometimes the comments are coming a touch late, but we're getting there. And we're gonna. This is the silver and gold metallic foil. Foil it's called in. That's you get quite a few sheets in that celebration pack. Good for Christmas. You can use it like for a wedding. Um, anything really. Doesn't have to be Christmas. So let's take this down. We've still got to do a sentiment. Thanks for joining me. Good to have you here. All right. So even though it's white on white, just adding that little bit of texture, I think has a lovely effect. Now we shall glue this onto that. Now if you wanted to, you can die cut anything out of that or punch a shape out of that middle bit so you get more use out of that. Extend it. But just a little bit of dots, I think, adds something. Now, for tree lots, trees for sale stamp, we're just going to use the Christmas greetings. You can use any greeting you've got, whatever you like. I always recommend, using a piercing mat. When you stamp with photopolymer, it gives you a really clear image. I'm going to use Tahitian Tide because that's the color that is, what do you call, not as prominent in my card. And this die is from the seasonal labels dies. I just want to use that section. So I've actually used all this washi tape, so that's good. Sometimes I don't, I've used it not for the purpose it was intended, but for holding my dies down. So we can use that there. And we'll die cut this. You could use you could do silver embossing. That's what I'm trying to say. That would work too. Nice. I just kept it simple. Like I always say, Christmas cards. I'm generally rushing, and I'm always doing things at the last minute. Heat embossing is probably not what I want to do when I'm doing 200. 1 week before I'm about to give them. So trying to keep it simple. Hopefully I'll be organized this year. So that's done. And I'm going to cut that down. Then we'll use some elegant trim. This you get silver and gold in this pack. So it's a good little pack to have and a good Christmas pack to have. I will add some tear and tape. So this is double-sided tape. When you look for it in our, I don't need so much. In our store, you just look for tear and tape and it'll be there. Adding a little bit there. And we're just gonna put this like a figure 8, pushing that back. So I'm starting off like this. And then I might go a little bit larger. Now don't worry what the back looks like, and you can secure it more with another bit of tear and tape. So it's basically just a figure eight. You can see that. I am going to put, I should have kept that other bit, shouldn't I? Oh, here we are. Yeah, and let's put that over just to be doubly sure. Okay. Trim that. And if it's misbehaving, you can put another bit there at the back, like mine is at the moment. Sometimes it goes the other way. Generally, it's good. You could even put a glue dot. That'll work. Glue dots are good. I'm just forcing it to stay that way. Right? Now, just messing with it a bit. Now let's do some assembling. We are going to put our sentiment there. Get our large dimensionals. I might not put anything there because it's already kind of bulky. And we'll just put that up there. Then I am going to just put some dimensionals and stick that down onto this. Again, it's a lot of white, but sometimes white can be very effective. It just brings out the color you've got and looks really nice. I think it's okay. Now for our trees, let's put them just there and maybe one there. Maybe one up there and one down here. So you could, there's two, I'm just going to use glue on this. But if you wanted to, you could add these on adhesive sheets and then it'll make your life a little bit easier. But I'm okay with just adding dots of glue. And then all you have to do is peel the back. If you use the adhesive sheets, peel it back and then it's ready to go. Most of the time I just use glue because I don't plan what I'm doing and then I just go, oh yeah, I might do that. It's a last minute decision. Doesn't the silver look effective with those trees, just the die cuts? Oops. Doesn't want to stick down. I'll show you the other card I did in a sec. But what I might do for the inside and for the actual card, I might just take one of these trees and just stamp it on the card. Actually, we've got one with a bit more detail on it, so let's do that. Just so we can finish it off nicely. And I might use Pool Party just for some softness on the inside. Okay. And we'll do the same on the envelope. So that's done. Now I'm going to show you the other one I did. It's in gold. Similar. Let me know which one you prefer. I just thought I'll show you two different. And I used the gold foil on the back with the dots. With the sponging, I did with the blending at the back. What I did with this one, I tried something a little bit different. So once I blended, I did the same thing as this, and then I kept the sponge in place. Kept the mask in place, and I used a wet wipe and pulled color off it. So that's why it's got a more it's more muted and a bit of a washed look because I used the wet wipe and pull back color, and that's just on plain cardstock. And then I went over it with just a haze of blending with Pool Party. So that's just slightly different, but other than that, I've pretty much done the same thing there. Let me know what you like. What you can try that with something you've got. Now the next card we are going to do is using that beautiful paper which we had, which we have, hasn't sold out yet, so you can still get it if you haven't. Is the rings, rings of love, paper, the 12 by 12 paper. You know the one. It matches with the nature, the one with the tree rings. Goodness, I lose it sometimes. So I've got a soft seafoam card base, and we're going to be using early espresso as our ink. So there's not a lot of ink colors I'm using, mainly designer series paper. So today we'll be using this designer series paper, which is the Sale-A-Bration product. It's 12 by 12. You get 12 sheets. We're using some crumb cake cardstock, and this is from the Splendid Day Suite, a piece of paper which I'm using. And then what else have I got in my, and a bird eye which I've fussy cut earlier, so I didn't have to put it through the fussy cutting. And I'll show you where I got die cut that from. That's a separate piece. Right, so first is this crumb cake piece. We'll use the timber embossing folder, and we're just going to do something a little bit different. Now you might know this technique, but it's just we're going to ink up our embossing folder to ink or to add color to our cardstock. So when you open up the embossing folder, you've got the side that embosses, or the raised side, and this is the recessed or debossing side, so to speak. You can do this different ways. For this time, I'm going to be inking up the opposite side. So where the Stampin' Up logo is, it's on the other side, right? And then I will place my cardstock right there. Then we're going to close our embossing folder, and we're going to run that through the embossing machine. Tell me if you've tried this technique. It gives you a different way to use your embossing folders. It's like you can do like a letterpress technique if you use it on the other side. It gives you the color which you have added in the recesses, and I think it works really well for this, for the timber. It looks like it has that aged look about it. Then if you wanted to clean it, I would just use a wet wipe and just wipe that off. So we'll set that aside. Then I've got this frame. I'll show you which. It's from the Fabulous Frames dies. You get a few frames in that. There's a few different ones, and it actually die cuts. Like for instance, this will die cut a frame and then give you the inner as well. And I'll die cut this so you can see how it works. It's a good little set. It has a matching or coordinating stamp set. I haven't got that one, but because it's a die set that works independently. So I'm using the back, and it'll give you that image or the so it's going to give you that which you can use for something, and then it'll give you that the markings on that from that, the embossing on that. It's called Fabulous Frames, the dies, and keep that. We've got that. So I had an oval before which I showed you. That is the inside of that. So I got an outer section and I just used that for the center. The same kind of thing. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just glue this to this piece I embossed, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the edge of that frame. I will glue that down, but I first want to cut off the excess. When I'm trimming this, I will trim inwards, like what I'm trying to, sorry, I'll show you. So make sure that's stuck down. Keep this, we're not needing all that. So I'm angling that towards the inside, so you don't have to have that showing. It doesn't matter what is here, right? So you can see that. And I'll do the same with this side. I'm going to glue that down a bit. It's just that if you do it on the line, there's a likelihood that you're going to have that crumb cake cardstock peeking underneath, and you don't really want that unless that's the effect you're going for. That's not the effect I'm going for, so I'm angling my snips this towards the bottom. So hopefully then it doesn't show through. Then I'll just trim that because they had some glue underneath. You can see that edge there. And now with my circle, I'm just going to put some dimensionals. Circle, no, it's an oval. So I'm sounding really wheezy. Been having this weird cough, and I've tested and everything's fine, and I think it's weather related. So we don't need that. Something I didn't get something for my sentiment. We don't need such a big piece, but we can use that. Okay, so I'm looking for my fabulous frames. Here we are. So I'm going to be using this little one here for my sentiment piece. And I'm using this stamp set, which is an old one. The Art Gallery stamp set. Now you may have this. It's been around a while. And I'm just going to use the Best Wishes. Best Wishes kind of covers several occasions, I think. So it's good to have. It can be birthday, it can be anything. And I'm using early espresso, so you really only need one in color for this. Let's put it towards there. If you want me, if you'd like me to place your order, please call me. I mean, you can call me till about. You can call me after 9. I'm happy to help you. Just make sure you call me as soon as I finish this live because I don't want you to miss out. And on anything of these freebies, or you can do it online. But sometimes the system can be slow, or everyone's placing the last minute orders, or something happens. I've got an order to go through as well. So always. Right. So this one comes with 2 little tag holes, so you can we're gonna use that to put some ribbon through. So I've got some soft sea foam ribbon. This is seam binding, and I'm just gonna put this through from the front on the left, and I'm using my scissors just to enable me to get this through. It can be a little bit tricky. I mean, you might have a better eye than me. I haven't got the greatest eyesight to start with. It worked all right when I did the sample, but you know, when you're live, things become a little bit tricky. All right, so it's not too bad. You can even, I mean, you can make your life easy and use twine, but why make it easy? Um, this was just a nice touch. I thought it was just a bit softer, and I just felt it was nice. So I'm going to cut that off because it's fraying. That'll make it easier. All right, so that's all I need to do. I'm not doing anything crazy, and I'm not even tying a bow. All I'm going to do is trim that down. And just there. So it just looks cute. And we can just add, I'm going to glue that because when it's got ribbon under there, it's already a bit bulky. I'm just going to leave it as is and stick that down there. So you see, I didn't do too much. I'm going to match that up there. And that's fine. Now let's put that on our card. So I've got this piece of designer series paper. It's the Splendid Day Suite. It's specialty paper, so on one side it's got foil and the other side is more simpler. I tend to use the more simpler side. That's just my style of crafting, and I do use the foil sometimes, but it's the plain side has been my go-to. Everyone's different. Then I'm going to angle this because we've got quite a bit going on here, and I'm going to add a bit more dimension with some extra bits and pieces. I'm going to glue this as straight on our card base. So add a little bit on there and just at a bit of an angle. Right. So I've got our sentiment. Now I've got my favorite. I used all this a lot last week with the aspen dies. These leaves, this is the one with the bird and all the. You get this free. You can get this free right now. These are current product from mini catalog. They match with the Perch in a Tree bundle. So I just love these leaves. So I thought I'll get a couple of them out of soft sea foam cardstock, and it matches with our card. I like layers, and my friend told me, Michelle, you love your layers. I said, yep, I have to. I have, no matter what it is, I'll put some sort of layer on it. So there's something extra, some leaves, a bird. I'll always add something extra. So just the dimensional on each of them, and just stick them down there. And I'll stick that there. So it just adds a little bit extra interest. And then we've got our little bird, which I fussy cut out of this same paper, so it coordinates without being too busy with other pattern. It's still the same pattern. It just has some dimension on that. And I'm just going to use some of these mini dimensionals. I've trimmed off a bit. Now in September, tomorrow, 1st of September, there's lots of good things coming in September because it's my big 5 next month, guys. So I've got some special stuff planned for us. So make sure you are subscribed to newsletter and or following my blog or something because I'm getting old. And we've got to celebrate it. So plus Stampin' Up, I've got some fun stuff. So lots of good things to come. I think it adds something really nice. What do you think? Do you like the little bird? I think. And maybe we should add some bling because I've got 2 giggling girls at the back. If you can hear, they're playing games. My daughter and a friend. I want some. I don't know. Maybe some. I'm trying to think what I should do. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to throw that in Nico's face. This is a last minute ad. I felt it needed something. Maybe some rhinestones or some pearls. Pearls would be nice. Just sometimes simple is good. Pearls are classic. Same with like rhinestones. I find they're classic, but they work so well and they work so well on so many projects. If you have to choose between embellishments, I'll say go for pearls and rhinestones. And then you can do lots of things with them. So that's a card done, and I haven't decorated inside, but I will show you what I did on my other one. So I've stuck that together. So I've done that, and I just added some of the pretty paper to coordinate so it looks nice when someone gets that. I didn't put pearls on that, but this was, as I said, a last minute ad. Hope you like that one. And I've got one more, guys. So thanks for sticking around. I just felt like I wanted to share with you some extras today. From crafting, I might just you love the bird and the leaves. Thanks, Alana. Yeah, they're it's nice, cute bird, isn't it? Just even though it's on the DSP and it's just that washed look, I think it's cute. This is blushing bright cardstock. And let me just pull my sample, and we're going to use the Wonderful World paper. So it's a bundle, so it's free with a $180 order. So you get a stamp set and paper. I'm just using the designer series paper tonight. And this is just a basic card mat. And I'm also using the cup of tea bundle with this, and I've done pre-cut something so it makes it easy for us, just to save some time. So one thing I haven't done is we're going to be using this dots and spots dies. I'm going to show you can see I've been trying it before. So this one, I like off the top of my head, I actually got this free because or during Sale-A-Bration. I had been eyeing it for a while and I couldn't pass it up. This is $56 and it's free with a $180 order, so it's really good value. That's what I said, some of this stuff is really worthwhile for you to get a bargain. So now what I've got these, I've die cut these two circles. They're exactly the same size, one in white and one in polished pink. I am going to die cut this with the dots and spots die cut, or the die, I should say. Just a different way to use this so that you don't always have to create a full page or a full sheet, not a full page, a full sheet of these background. You can just use it in elements of it. These are great for using for shaker cards. You'll get lots of bits and pieces, and make sure you don't clean the room before you do this, vacuum after you do this, because you'll get lots of bits and pieces all over the shop. So it's a I perform sometimes like magic. I don't know. I lose things. I'm gonna get all my bits and pieces out because I've somehow lost my white circle. I spend half my time, I tell you, looking for things on my desk. And you saw it, I saw it, but yeah, that's just how it is. Let's start at another one. Okay. So has it happened to you? Sometimes I don't know what I do. So much for saving time. Now I have to do it again. And that's where it's probably stuck on something else. I nearly lost the pink one now. All right, so we'll stick these together. So then you have the white showing up underneath. So just a little bit of glue. So it's just a cute little effect. You can use that in any color scheme. You could do white on pink and mix it around a bit. So the next thing I have is I've die cut. This is using the cup of tea dies or in that bundle. You just I've done cut three of the same and then I've die cut one of these. So what we're going to do is use blushing bride to add some color to this cup. I don't want too much color, but I just want a little bit of color with blushing bride. That's probably got a bit of polish pink on my blending brush, so I just want to wipe that out a bit. It doesn't matter if I have a light touch, it will be okay. So just very, very light. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to glue these three together. What it adds is creates some depth if you put all of them together. Again, I tend to use glue. You can use the the double-sided adhesive sheets. I find for this sort of thing, when you've got, it's helpful. Only thing, you have a lot of wastage when you all these bits and pieces come off, then you're losing a lot of sheet. It doesn't. It does help you though. Definitely helps you. But I find this as easy to do. And just line it up and this is a good little technique for with any of your die cuts. It just adds nice dimension to your project. It takes a little bit more effort. It's good for if you have say your die cut letters of the alphabet. It really makes them pop on your card or your scrapbook page. So you can just so you can see. It's not overly thick, but it is enough to add that depth. Now we're gonna stick that on this. And then we'll just line that up and stick that on there. So a little bit of it's not a hard process, it's just a little bit more time consuming, but it's well worth the effect because you can see once you glue it, it just has a nice look about it, and I really like that effect. Now, guess what I found? I have found the white. And I for a moment thought I've lost the pink, but no, I found my missing white piece. We're just going to glue this down. So you can use whatever piece you've got. This DSP is really nice. I'm saying was. It will be was tomorrow, but it still is. rich raspberry ink only because it picks up on some of the rich raspberry in there. And we will use the coordinating cup of tea. I'm just going to use Take Care of Yourself. Just keeping it quite simple with the stamping. And just going to stamp that there. Then we will get our ribbon. This is polished pink ribbon. So this carried over from last year, and we've got it in all the in colors from 2020. I'm getting confused now. No, 2021 to 2023. Goodness, the years are getting confusing. And then I just add some tear and tape, and that helps you have your ribbon attached, and you don't have to wrap it around and waste ribbon. You only have to do it up to there. Glue that there. And then I'm just going to glue that straight on. Put some dimensionals on this. I generally would put dimensionals on it but the teacup has quite a bit of depth on it, so I didn't want too much. And we'll tie a ball. Cassie's worried I'm going to miss her debut. She's on her a TV show tonight because she did some extra work for a TV show called Summer Love, which is debuting on the ABC tonight. So she goes, "You're gonna miss my debut, on your live." I said, "I'll be there. I'm nearly done." Mum life. It's a bit exciting. Alright, so let's put some my glue dots have unraveled. Okay, so we'll just yeah, here's my bow. Stick that down. Make sure it's stuck. And for for my embellishments, I use these in color opal rounds. They're quite sweet, and they're softer, and I think they work well. You could use the polished pink, but I went with the fresh freesia on my previous cut. So I'm going to show you. Maybe we'll try the polished pink on this one and see what it looks like and compare, just for just for variation. That guy does. I don't want to get that. See, there's a little mark on that, so let's fix that up. Oh, that's good. That's gone now. That's I've just been off. Okay, I'll show you the difference between. Let me know what looks better. I just thought the fresh freesia picked up on that purples in there as well. So that's your polished pink dots and some fresh freesia, just for a bit of change. I hope you enjoyed that card. Um, I haven't decorated that inside yet, but I'll probably put some DSP inside. But I wanted to show you that. So those are the cards we've done today. And then I showed you an alternative with that Christmas one. No, that's not the one. We did one. We put pearls on our one. There you go. That's right. So hope you like all of them and got some ideas and tips. Even if you don't have those products, you can perhaps use some other products you may have in your stash to recreate with some of those ideas, like some, for instance, with that embossing folder tip. So if I can, oh, thanks, Alana. I'll let her know. For congratulations to Cassidy. Yeah, she's pretty excited. um, it's her side gig. Um, so if I can help you, let me know. And if you have any trouble, just text me, and I'll always check my text. I don't want you to miss out on any of your freebies. I I will make exception tonight. I will keep checking. And if not, you can place your orders online. Please check your emails and things tomorrow. I have some fun stuff coming up for September, and Stamping Up has some fun stuff coming up as well. Thanks everyone for your time tonight. I appreciate it. Taking time out of your evening to spend it with me. Have a great rest of the week. And next week, I will have a pre-recorded video for you. I have to undergo some surgery, so I will not be here live, but I will have a pre-recorded video here for you. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.